What happened at midweek. Let's welcome in, shall we, Frank Leboeuf, Julien Laurent with us as well. Frank, that was quite something, wasn't it? Messi to be booed at that level today?
Yeah, it is. It is. Especially, I remember when Messi was welcomed. You know, the game I was at Paris at the Parc des Princes when it was absolutely, well, everybody was behind him and they was very happy. They were all very happy to see him coming and signing for Paris Saint-Germain. And in another hand, Mbappe was almost booed at the beginning of the season. Everybody thinking that he wanted to go, and that's completely the other way around. But yeah, the players are facing very much unhappy fans with the behavior of the last game. So it's quite normal. It's up to them to return the situation, I would say, to their advantages and do their work. Today, again, it was slow, it was unpassionate, and people are expecting much more from those players.
Jules, if you were there, would you have booed with your PSG ways?
I would have been the loudest even. I would have booed so much, you would have heard me from Bristol. I mean, listen, it's not nice. It's not nice to be in that position where, whether you're on the pitch or in the stands, where your team just had this collapse in midweek, and then you end up with the ultras showing their discontent and their protest. There was tensions even before the Real Madrid game, and now it spilled over after that defeat and the fact that they were knocked out of the Champions League. So of course they were going to protest. We knew they were going to boo and whistle and etc. We knew there would be banners, and there were banners about asking Leonardo to get sacked, Nasser Al-Khelaifi to get sacked as well. So we knew they would leave before the end of the first half, for example, and empty the two stands as a protest again. So this was all planned, and we kind of knew it. It's just, I think maybe for some people it's surprising, but this happens a lot in Paris, and I think in a lot of grounds too.
What happens next though, Frank? Because the problem is there is a very long time until they can redeem themselves. They're going to win the league. They could beat teams 3-4-0 every weekend, yet it's only in the Champions League really where they're judged properly. So it's going to take a long time, isn't it, for these heels to wounds to heal?
Well, I think it will take, I guess, almost a year until we come back to February next season and see what the Paris Saint-Germain is going to do again in the last 16 or the quarterfinal. That's the main concern. You know, everybody's expecting the best. Every year you see players like Messi coming, Neymar, and some others, and you say, well, that's maybe this season, and it's always that same thing. There is a very famous journalist from L'Equipe this week, who say that continuing or losing like that every year brings a culture of loss. And you know, and you can be a club with win, like Real Madrid, you win, you get the silverware and everything, and you're becoming a club which gonna lose every time, and you're gonna get that culture. So it's like a curse. You have to get rid of the curse, and the only way to get rid of that is to win your first Champions League. And after that, you will be forgiven, and you will start a new cycle, and everything will go well.
Yeah, that's a long way off, though, isn't it? Luis, obviously, you played with Messi. We were so excited when that move happened in August, just to see how he would link up with Neymar once again, Kylian Mbappe up front. I don't think many could have predicted that come March, he'd be booed by his own fans.
Dan, I wasn't very excited, to be honest. I saw Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona, and it hurt me so much. It was sad, actually, to see him part, but definitely, when you have a look as a guy who likes to see, as a football fan, let's call it this way, that likes to see nice football, have a look to and have the chance of watching play Neymar, Messi, Mbappe is a dream come true, and I'm sure that that's what the supporters were feeling. But definitely, it's not the end of what we expected. That in March, actually, a few months after, the supporters just start booing because one of the games didn't go the way that they expected. Because I'm sure that in the first leg, but Messi for me was one of the best one on the field with Di Maria probably and Verratti. So it's something that at the end people doesn't understand. You can have bad games and it happens, and then you continue moving forward. But I agree totally with Sebastian that he's mentioning about this culture of if you get used to lose every single time, at the end it's something that is going to happen. And it happened to Atletico Madrid for many years until they finally got once again a right to the Champions League final, and they managed to win it. But in the other side, they were winning the league, and at the end, you kind of think and feel that they know they make it, maybe they can arrive to the Champions League final, but at the end they're going to lose it. And that's something that I'm sure the club doesn't want to end the play this year.
How does this end, Jules?
Sorry?
How does this end?
I don't know. Today, I mean, Messi never looked phased anyway. So he was booed. On his face, there was nothing. On Neymar's face, you could see the frustration after he scored the goal. You saw the frustration, no celebration, nothing. He was the worst because they also insulted him and called him a son of a bee and all of that, which they didn't do for Messi and the other players, by the way, because as you said, apart from Mbappe, everybody else got booed. It was not targeted at Messi or Neymar. It was targeted at the whole team. So it could have been Dan Thomas playing, Xhaka Hislop, Luis Garcia, Frank Leboeuf. You would have been booed as well. It's nothing to do with an individual, really. It's a collective after the Real Madrid defeat. But I don't know, for Neymar, the club is saying, listen, if he wants to go, if we get offers, he can go. No one will, trust me, no one will come for Neymar in the summer. Messi, it's different. I think if Xavi picks up the phone and say, hey, why don't you come home? And it can happen. You know, this one might happen. For Neymar, I don't know who's going to come now and spend the money that is on, the wages, plus a transfer fee or something like that at his age and with the form that he has. I think this one will be tricky. But I think everything is pretty open for the manager, for the sporting director, for the president, for Neymar, for Messi, for Kylian. I think there's a lot of uncertainty because after what happened and the situation right now, to be fair, I think we have to say what it is. It is a mess.
Jules saying it looks like Messi's going to go back to Barcelona. Luis, does this make sense?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If he wants to go, I'm sure that everybody's going to be happy to have him back again. I'm not sure if he's going to be available. But in the other hand, guys, to find a place to Neymar, I don't think that is to try to find or someone has to find a place to Neymar. I think that Neymar needs to find a new challenge, something that actually he enjoys, because in the moment that he doesn't enjoy it, I'm not talking about money. People talk about no money, wages and everything. I think he's not worried about that. He's worried about he wants to feel once again important on the field. He wants to enjoy playing on a game, trying to win more trophies. And at the moment, you can see that he's not enjoying the face. The body language doesn't look like so. Hopefully we can see back again the Neymar that we all see for many years, because definitely it's a joy to watch.
And anyone who's seen the Netflix documentary know it's all Xhaka Hislop's fault.
Or is it now?
That's what it seemed to be.
No, I understand exactly what Luis is saying, but Neymar asked for this. Neymar chose to leave Barcelona. He wanted that challenge where he was the focus. He wanted to be the face of the project. A project that has gone disastrously ever since his arrival, despite how much they spend, despite what managers come in. PSG just aren't delivering on their promise. And now that dream that he seeked out in that manner has turned into a nightmare is his to endure. And I, for one, don't have many sympathies.
It's crazy, isn't it? Mbappe, Neymar, Messi. In August, we were like, wow, you know, this team's going to dominate. It's going to be must watch.
Yeah, it seemed like it was perfect, didn't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, here we are. I think they start to show a few sort of failings earlier in the season. Like, maybe it's not going to be as perfect as we all saw. But then again, it's like it's the Champions League. It's a very, very competitive task itself. You're going up against Real Madrid, who've got the richest pedigree, I think, of any side in its history. So I think if they would have lost that to, say, like a Sporting Lisbon or something like that, then I think it's, you know, it's a slightly different conversation. Obviously, they blew it, but still, you know, the standard is so high. Like, I think I'm very interested in the point that Frank was making about how there's like a losing culture in that competition within it. And getting to the final and winning it is a way to get rid of it, because you see the way that they've tried to do it with that front three, and it's an incredible front three on paper. But then there's also, you know, it's gone blue again. I'm talking about Man City. Mm-hmm. They don't have that star power like that. They have the collective, but then they've also not won it. So what's the best formula to find success at that sort of stage? Like what is it?
I don't know.
I'm asking you. Tell me, answer the question. Somebody must know.
If anyone would be sat here.
Who doesn't?
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.